All right, so the last thing in my videos that I want to come off as is someone that's perfect. You feel me? I'm by no stretch of the imagination am a perfect nigga at all, bro. I've made hella mistakes in my life, especially in my, my little jit days. You feel me? Those days where I ain't know no better. I was just living life, thugging it. You feel me? I think a few videos ago, I mentioned how I had my moments of me being down bad for women, my moments of simping for certain females in my life. I've had a couple stories, and I was thinking like, hmm. I think it'd be pretty appropriate for me to tell y'all one of the stories. Actually, I think it's a really funny story because like the whole time I was thinking about this shit, bro, it was just crazy. So like, 'cause I got a lot of game myself, you feel me? I'm a young bull, but like I done been through a lot. I'm an old soul, so like I can give y'all a little game. I can tell y'all some of the experience I done went through, and y'all can hopefully learn through my mistakes. You feel me? So like, man, let's get on with it. Man, what that boy J. Cole say, man? Let me take y'all back, man, as I do so well, you feel me? So like, this is back in 2020, 2 years ago, back in 2020, it was peak pandemic. It was, I believe June. It was June. I was just a young nigga. I was 17 at the time. You feel me? I was 17. I was walking around life vicariously, just doing whatever I wanted to do. I was playing my own game. I was playing with my own rules. You feel me? So like, this was like I said, this was during like peak pandemic. So like, everyone was fucked up in the crib. You feel me? Everyone was down bad in the crib, and me being inside so long, I was no, I think it was through Instagram. I met this one joint, right? I was talking to her through Instagram because there was no way for me to actually go out and meet girls because we was all in the crib because of quarantine. So I was texting her through Instagram. It was this girl, man. We finna make up a fake name for her. I think I'm gonna call her Kayla. Kayla. So boom, Kayla. Me and Kayla was going back and forth a little bit through the DMs and shit. Got her number. We was calling here and there. It was progressing through the stages. You feel me? We were progressing through the stages. We was going somewhere. We was getting somewhere. We was actually getting some sort of motion going on. So one day came, right? It was middle of June. One day came, I asked her if she was free. She said, "Nah, I'm not free today," because she was working at the time. She said, "Nah, I'm not free today. I might let you know tomorrow though." I'm like, "I bet." Boom. Tomorrow rolled around. Tomorrow rolled around like a barrel. Tomorrow was there. And tomorrow was today. Hit her up again, I'm like, "Yo, what's up? Like, what's the word for today?" You feel me? She's like, "All right, I'm free." She was staying at like a little hotel down by where I used to live, right? Down by where I used to live. So I know the area quite well. So I knew exactly what hotel she was talking about. So she was like, I'm like, I'm in the hotel right now, so like I'm gonna have to like, sneak out and shit. So like you can come over though. Like you can come through, you can slide through right now. I'm like, I bet. And at the time, bro, like my dad, he was like really like on dicks. Like he was really like, super hyper paranoid about the whole Rona, everyone wearing masks, staying inside, making us wear gloves. Like he was super paranoid. Like how everyone was, cause like no one knew what was going on. No one knew like how far this shit was finna go, and no one knew when the quarantine was finna be lit. No one knew nothing. Like no one knew anything about this shit. So like he was really anxious. I'd be locked up like a prisoner, dog. Like he would never let me out the house. The only time he'll ever let me out the house is like if I want to like go on walks. Like I just make up excuse saying like I'm gonna go on a walk around the neighborhood because at that point I don't really need to wear a mask and I just can just walk around the neighborhood by myself, just chilling, thugging, you feel me? So it got around like 6 p.m., this was normally the time I told my dad that I want to go on a walk for like around the neighborhood. So I gave him that, gave him that same excuse saying, "Hey, can I go on a walk?" He said, "I bet, okay, just be careful, because, I don't want you catching nothing." I'm like, cool. Little did he know, bro, I was out here making plays, bro. I was making plays. So I took my dad's car. Like, I took my dad's car. Like, I just took his keys and I skirted off, you feel me? I took my dad's car without him knowing. Dog, like, if you, like, a kid, bro, if you watching this and you a kid, you don't have your own whip, or you don't have your own car, or nothing, taking your parents' car is very, very risky. Without you telling them, bro, taking your parents' car is just No, that was the first mistake I made. I took my dad's car without him even knowing. Like I said, like this whole like trying to hook up with girls and shit without your own sorts of like transportation or without your own form of like accommodation for where y'all finna do the dirty deeds is it's terrible. It's terrible. So like I already knew this. Like I already knew this in my mind, but like I didn't care because like I was down bad. So like this was just like one offense of me being down bad. There was plenty more, but like this was just simply one offense. I took my dad's car, and she was like 30 minutes away from me, right? She was like 30 minutes away from me, and I drove all the way down there. At this time, I had only my permit. I only had my permit. I never drove down the highway before by myself. I never drove down the highway. Only time I ever drove down the highway was with my dad, like, and he was with me, like, by the passenger seat. So, like, I was driving like a cool 35 minutes to go see this girl. Never drove down the highway before. Risked my life for some coochie. Like I said, bro, I was down bad. I was willing to do anything, bro. At this point, I was willing to go the ends of the earth for this, bro. Like, this was a mission I had to see through it. So before I even drove off to her, her crib to where she was at, I made sure like the gas was chill. I made sure the gas was, at least decent, like at least had some sort of gas inside the car. And I just made sure everything was good. Tires were good, gas was good. I thought we was on go. I thought we was straight, right? Drove down there, drove down all the way down there by myself. Shorty came outside, we was in the car, we got to little doing our thing, and it was it was middle of June, bro. It was like blazing hot. It was blazing hot. Middle of June, terrible. Like it was hot as fuck. So I turned on the AC. So I turned on the AC like in the car, right? The thing was, I turned on the AC and we was in the car for like a cool 45 minutes, like almost an hour. We was just in the car, right? Doing our thing. Like the thing about it is, if you don't turn the engine on in the car, you just leave the car on without the engine actually running. You running the AC in the car, that's gonna, bro, that destroys the battery. That absolutely just eviscerates the battery of the car, bro. And at this point, I did not know that. I didn't know. I had no idea, bro. I didn't know, this damages the battery of the car, right? So I didn't have the engine on. I did not have the engine on of the car. I just had the car on, the lights on and shit. And then after that, midway of me, thrusting and me stroking and shit, we was all the way by the ends of the parking lot, bro. It started getting hot. It started getting really hot. I started sweating. I think I was just putting in that much work. I thought I was just putting A1 performance. I thought I was just doing my thing, bro. It started getting hot. I'm like, damn. It started getting really hot. I'm like, bro, I'm sweating like shit. Like my whole body is freaking sweating bad, bro. I'm like, bro, like it feels like the AC is not even on no more. Like, I feel like the AC not even on. And I checked that shit. AC was not on. I'm like, huh, that's weird. I don't remember turn on. Why is the AC off? And I looked at the lights of the car. I saw the lights were not on. I'm like, I don't remember turning off the car, but I saw the key was still in the key engine joint. I'm like, that's weird. I don't remember me turning the car off, but all right. So I try to turn the key again, trying to turn on the car. Nothing was coming on. The car was not coming on at all. So I was confused. Like, what? Did it again? Car was not coming on. And the car was just absolutely dead. The battery is dead. The car was not turning on at all. Dog. When I say my heart sank down to my stomach, bro. But my heart was like, I was about shit out my heart, bro. Like my heart was just gone. Like it just was about to explode, bro. I immediately started panicking. Immediately. Cause nigga, I was like damn near I was 35 minutes away from home. It was almost 8 o'clock. It started sun was setting at the time. Sun was setting. My dad does not know I'm already out here. I got a bitch out in my car and shit. And this car does not work. My dad's car does not work. Now I started just tweaking out. And Kayla, right, her ass trying to help me out, was asking me dumb questions like, is everything okay? Obviously, shit's not okay, bro. I'm panicking right now. I'm panicking. You see the car's not on. Everything is not okay. Of course it's not okay. So I just told her to go back inside because at this point, I had bigger things to worry about. I don't need her just watching me look like a fool. So boom. I was thinking, what could be the problem with the car? And remember beginning earlier, I was saying like, oh, I was saying, I remember like those gases out the car. I remember the tires, everything was good with the car, right? I was thinking like maybe it's gas. Maybe I just need gas in the car, right? This was my plan. So I ran down to the gas station so I could buy a gallon of water, right? I poured out the gallon of water, put some gas inside the gallon of water, right? Inside the gallon. Ran all the way back. I was trying to run all the way back to my car. Another 30-minute walk, another 30-minute walk, but I ran that bitch, you know. So I ran back with a gallon of gas on me, pour that bitch inside the car so my car can finally turn on. Just have enough gas for the car to turn on so I can drive back to the gas station and fill that tank up so I can drive home, right? That was the plan. That was the plan. When I got to the car and poured the fucking gallon of gas inside the car, turned the key on to try to turn on the car, turn that bitch. The car didn't turn on. The car did not turn on. I'm like, okay, at this point, I'm screwed. At this point, I'm screwed. And it's just whole thing was terrible. And like, it's crazy as hell because like, I swear to God, I don't know if God was probably watching me this whole time, bro. Act like a fool because the craziest shit happened after that. I saw my brother, like I just happened to see my brother just out and about walking. And this was, mind you, I live 5 minutes away. But my other brother, he lives like close by that area, but I didn't think he was gonna I was gonna see him at all. I just happened to see him. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing out here? He asked me, what are you doing out here? You don't live anywhere around here. Like, just don't worry about it, bro. This car is not working. My dad's car is not working right now. I need your help. So we were trying to brainstorm ideas how to like, what could be possibly wrong with the car. And he came to the conclusion that the battery of the car was terrible. Like he came to the conclusion that the battery of the car was done. Like it was just done. He's like, okay, we need to find a way to find like a jump start kit for like the car, like to like, you know, boost up the battery of the car, right? We need to find some way. But the thing was, at that time it was 8 o'clock, and at that time during like the pandemic, all the stores were just closing early as hell for some reason, because of like the pandemic and shit, like in the Corona, all the stores were closing like 7 o'clock, like hella early. So we couldn't go to no store to buy like a jumpstart kit. I mean, he didn't have a jumpstart kit on him. So I literally had to resort to my last option, bro. I had no other choice but to call my dad to pick me up. Bro, and when I say, bro, like, the whole thing was just terrible. The whole thing was just terrible. Man was pissed at me because one, I took his car without his permission. I took it all the way to fucking like 30 minutes away from the crib. On top of that, his car was not working. Obviously, he's pissed off. I told him the whole situation with the car. He brought like a kit, like jumpstart kit from the crib to like, you know, jumpstart the car, and it started working again. My brother tagged along with my dad to like, come pick me up and shit. And the whole time I was thinking about, the whole time I was in this situation, the whole time I was just thinking like, man, this will be a crazy YouTube video, man. This is I swear to God, the whole time I was thinking about this, I'm like, man, this will be a crazy ass YouTube video, you feel me? Like, I realized I would make this video for real. And like, this is a video I'm making now. So like, you know, I have more to, you know, add on to a whole different arc of the story. This was just the first part. It was like 2 acts, right? This was act 1. I had act 2 of the story. I'm gonna probably tell it some other time, but like, you're probably wondering like, what was the down bad moment with you? Like, how is this down bad, bro? It doesn't really hit until act 2. It doesn't really hit until act 2. That's where like the down bad moments started to like really pop up, you feel me? So in conclusion, man, fellas, make sure you want to plan out anything with a girl. Make sure you plan out thoroughly, and proper preparation prevents poor performance, you feel me? Make sure everything is good, everything is, you know, straight. Because if you start, shit started going left, you won't have a way to recover, bro. That's the end of you. That's how shit, like, people, getting pregnant, and stuff like that happens, And there ain't no more abortion pack you can add to your character kit. Like, they don't got that, skill set unlocked no more. You can't use that. So you guys got to be careful out here. You got to be careful. Make sure you plan out everything thoroughly, and make sure you have plan B's. That too, but like, you get what I'm trying to say, no pun intended, but like, make sure you have a plan B. Do what serves you, and you don't want things like below your means to get some coochie, bro. It's dead, bro. It's dead. I promise you, it's dead, man. Anyways, man, just want to share this little story with y'all. Appreciate y'all for watching. How I kind of tied it together. I like how I tied it together a little bit. I try to do something. I don't know. I try to do something. Appreciate y'all for watching. I'm gone.